Well, while the Prime Minister was on his feet, President Trump posted this on social media, along with an article that said Ukraine's President Zelensky says the end of war with Russia is very, very far away. This is what Donald Trump wrote. This is the worst statement that could have been made by Zelensky, and America will not put up with it for much longer. It is what I was saying. This guy doesn't want there to be peace as long as he has America's backing, and Europe, in the meeting they had with Zelensky, stated flatly that they cannot do the job without the US. Probably not a great statement to have been made in terms of a show of strength against Russia. What are they thinking? Well, let's go to Washington. Our North America editor, Sarah Smith, is there. What do you read into all of that?
Yeah, well, this is what we have to do, isn't it? Carefully parse every word in a social media post and try and work out what it means. I think he's saying that he doesn't think it was a great tactical move from the European countries to say that they cannot guarantee the peace in Ukraine without the backing of America, even though that may very well be true, because he feels it's not a show of strength going into negotiations. But the criticism of President Zelensky is very, very real. The very worst thing he could have said. And we've heard from others here today as well, like the National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, saying that time is not on Ukraine's side, that patience is running out, as are American wallets and American munition supplies, that they will not keep flowing to Ukraine. And there is clear frustration as well. We've heard from several senior officials, as well as President Trump in that social media post, that they don't think that President Zelensky is ready to talk about peace just now, that they need him to urgently change his mindset and get around the table. But they don't think it's something that he's able to do at the moment, and he's also being encouraged to hurry up and sign that critical minerals deal that was meant to be signed here at the White House on Friday. They say if he can do that in the next 48 hours, Donald Trump can announce it to Congress, and he would be very happy to do that.
And Chris Mason, our political editor in Westminster, this was all being posted whilst the Prime Minister was still on his feet.
Yeah, quite. I was talking to a senior figure earlier on who was saying it was a whirlwind weekend. Well, it's still pretty gusty now, isn't it? And it was certainly gusty at the tail end of last week. And I think, broadly speaking, we're just going to get used to this. This is how Donald Trump governs. And the key thing, certainly from this side of the Atlantic, is then how Europe, and in particular how the UK, reacts. And what we've seen in the last month and a bit, and we're still seeing again tonight, is a kind of self-denying ordinance, in public at least, from the Prime Minister and his team, not falling for the temptation to respond instantly to the latest volcanic invective being tapped into the Trumpian telephone. So no word of response from Downing Street. But the blunt truth is that this kind of stuff makes the balancing act that the Prime Minister's trying to pull off, keeping a relationship open with America. He described America as indispensable in the Commons this afternoon, and Europe, and of course Ukraine too, all the more difficult. Now, he is leading from the front as far as Europe's efforts are concerned. He's found a real sense of purpose, I think, with it, but it's incredibly difficult diplomatically, not least because of the language that we hear from the President, and also just incredibly difficult full stop, given that to get to the place where there is some sort of peace settlement, keeping Ukraine and Russia in a place where they can sign up to it, alongside Donald Trump and Europe, blimey, that is quite the ask.